Hi, I'm Bill St. Pierre of St. Pierre Woodworking in Floyd, Virginia. Today I'm going to show you a few techniques on spraying furniture or cabinets. It's something that I've been working on for years. I've been doing this type of work for the past 6 years, but I actually started it 20 years ago. I had a small shop up in New England, and but for the last 6 years we've been doing it pretty much full time. I want to go over a few things today about finishes, about different lacquers and stains, and make it where it's not where people aren't afraid to do a finish. I'm going to show you the finish we're going to be using. It's really simple. I've gone into, like I say, a lot of shops. Their wall is covered in different finishes. It's covered, shellacs that you got to mix with denatured alcohol. Different types of just everything you can think of. And even when I watch shows on TV, the home improvement shows, and they're showing a finish, they're always mixing things, and it's almost, it's really confusing. It's a recipe that, a lot of people, they watch that and they get discouraged, and they almost don't want to build a furniture or build a piece because they're afraid of the finishing process. What I use is just a basic lacquer. I can use different sheens. I use a basic stain. A lot of places you can buy the lacquer and the stain that are made by the same companies. Minwax doesn't quite have the lacquer that I use now, so I'm looking for a lacquer that dries really quick, and the new lacquers now do that. When you do a piece of furniture and you put a finish on it, you're trying to keep the depth low. You don't want to be able to look at it and it look like your floor, your hardwood floors in your house. You're trying to keep it look almost like a rub finish or an oil finish, unless it's of course a tabletop or something. Sometimes people like the depth on that, but I'm going to show you today how to spray a piece. If you put a stain on a piece, you're probably going to have to wait 24 hours before you do the lacquer. There are some companies like ML Campbell. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do with this piece, I'm just going to use a raw piece of plywood, piece of maple. I'm actually going to put a stain on this one, and I'm going to show you how I do that with a spray gun. A lot of people don't like putting the stain on with a spray gun. They think it leaves lines, and they're right, to a point. And I'm not trying to tell people exactly how to finish, and the other ways are wrong. And hand buffing is beautiful. I agree with that. But in the business that I'm in, the quicker we can get it done, or I can get it done, the quicker I can get it out the door, where it's not taking me as long to finish as it is to build it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this gun on. I'm not going to wear a mask just for a second, because I'm only going to use a little bit, and then we're going to get out of here and come back and do the next coat. And I'm going to keep the fans off and the filter outside just for a minute. So whenever you're spraying, you want to make sure you use the respirators and you have the right ones. You're not just using the little face thing with the rubber band on it, because that's not going to do it. This stuff can be deadly over time. The first 5 years may be fine, but down the road, this stuff could really start causing problems with you. So protect yourself, protect your skin, because it will go right through your skin, right into your bloodstream. And I highly recommend it. I'm going to turn this machine on. I'm going to show you how I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray with the grain. Whenever I'm spraying a stain, I'm going to go ahead and spray with the grain, and then I'm going to crisscross the pattern. That takes the lines out of it. And I'm going to do that right now and show you how simple and how quick that can be. Okay, so this is the gun I'm using. It's this part of the process. You can buy these guns for $40, $50. Through different places. Unfortunately, this one cost $700, and I thought that was my problem. Was maybe my gun wasn't good enough. Maybe maybe I got to buy the best there is, which I thought I did, and still had a problem with finishing. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. Like I say, I finally got it mastered where when you put the lacquer on a piece of wood, I was always putting it on and seeing it would start to run, it would orange peel, and obviously I'm putting on too much fluid, so maybe I need to back the fluid off and put the air on, put more air. then you're putting too much air on it. That means you're getting too much overspray when you don't have enough fluid mixed with it, and it just started getting real confusing. So I got it real simple. I got 60 pounds of air in the gun. I actually want to throw that on there. I don't want it to kind of, just kind of lay on there softly. I want to get that finish on that piece. And to tell how much fluid you want coming through the gun, you're going to take your air and you're going to turn it off, and you're going to get the air out of the pressure pot, and it wants to spray out of your gun about 4 feet from you. Now, if I was to adjust the fluid just a little bit, it would it's almost a half, not even a half a turn of that thing. So that is, believe it or not, a really, really important setting right there, just in a quarter turn and a half a turn. That makes the whole difference on that piece. You hold your gun, it wants to spray out there 4 feet, you've got your fluid set. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put a spray on this. If you noticed with the stain, again real quick, I'm not trying to make this too long and too confusing. When you start, you want to start outside your piece, you want to carry it across, and you want to stop outside your piece. With a stain, that's not that big a deal because you can just wipe it off where it puddles. But with a lacquer, you want to run it all the way across the piece. Now, I'm going to show you, again, I'm going to keep the fans off and my mask off. I'm going to put my mask on with this. Okay, so we just put the first coat of lacquer on. It usually takes 2 coats of lacquer. If you notice when I was spraying, I had my gun at an angle. What that does is it's actually pushing the overspray towards the fans. I've got fans behind me too that kind of pull it through here. What you don't want is you don't want overspray in the air for a long period of time. It's bad on you and it settles back down on your workpiece. You want to get rid of that overspray because when you're done you're going to feel it and it's going to feel real rough to you. That's from the overspray. In between coats with this, when you're doing plywood, you're obviously going to raise the grain. You want to just take a 220 or a real light sandpaper and just very lightly sand it. I'm not talking about hours of sanding. You just very lightly sand it, blow it off, get it cleaned off with a tack cloth, and put your next coat on. But I hope I made it somewhat easier on you. Just remember, please, wear your masks, have the proper ventilation. It's really a big, it's really important to do that. Don't be blowing this stuff, towards your neighbor's house. Put filters on the outside of your fans or whatever you're using. And hope it works out for you. This is the way I do it. This is the way we do it here at St. Pierre Woodworking. Our finishes come out really well, and they've, I've got them in my home, on my kitchen, and on tables, and they've lasted with 4 kids for, for the last 6 years. So it's a good finish, and hope it works out for you.
Woodworking Finishing Techniques by Bill St. Pierre of St. Pierre Woodworking. Video produced by the LCF Group, located in Floyd Professional Center, the Village Green in Floyd, Virginia. We hope you've enjoyed this video.